Hi, the SI meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Thursday, June 19th. Well, we've just experienced some of the hottest weather of the season so far. The last couple of days here in the Mid-Atlantic region. Winter is still several months away, but it's never too early to take a look at some possible early signs about the upcoming winter weather conditions here in the Mid-Atlantic region. Whenever you're looking at longer range forecasting or climatic forecasting, oceanic cycles are crucial. The central part of the Pacific Ocean, the tropical Pacific, is perhaps the most important area of all around the world. And indeed, there is an El Nino developing that's warmer than normal sea surface temperatures in the equatorial part of the Pacific Ocean. This El Nino looks like it'll develop just in time to have an impact on the upcoming winter weather conditions here in the Mid-Atlantic region. And there are some early signs that it indeed could lead to another snowy winter in the northeastern part of the U.S. Let's take a look at the current sea surface temperature anomaly chart. Notice right here off the west coast of South America, an area of above normal temperatures. All the yellows and oranges here represent above normal sea surface temperatures. This is all relative to normal. This is the equator latitude right here, this line cutting across right here. So in the equatorial part of the Pacific Ocean, just off the west coast of South America, indeed it looks like an El Nino is starting to form. We've had La Nina conditions in this part of the world over the last couple of years, but with colder than normal sea surface temperatures. Indeed, it's still below normal just to the south of the equator in the southern part of the Pacific Ocean. But there are signs here that we will have a intensifying El Nino. Now, I do not believe it will develop into a super strong El Nino. There's a posting on the climate info section on our weather website that I discussed the reasons why I do not believe this will evolve into a super strong El Nino. And that's important because super strong El Ninos tend to lead to warm winters here in the eastern part of the U.S., in fact, throughout much of the U.S. Weak to moderate El Ninos, on the other hand, certainly have been associated with some cold and snowy winters here in the northeast U.S. Now, it's not just the magnitude of the El Nino that's important in terms of its impact on winter weather conditions here in the northeast U.S. It's also the location. Notice right here the greatest temperature increase relative to normal in terms of the sea surface temperature anomalies is in the eastern Pacific right now, just off the west coast of South America. Whether the El Nino forms and is focused on the eastern Pacific as compared with out here in the central Pacific tends to have different impacts here on the winter weather conditions in the northeastern U.S. I believe we'll have a weak to moderate El Nino over the next several months going into the winter months, and I believe it will be a centrally based El Nino out here in the central Pacific as compared with where it is right now just off the South American west coast. And one of the main NOAA climatic type models or longer range models is called the CFS coupled forecast system. This happens to be the latest version, version 2. This is a forecast for the December, January, February time frame for the sea surface temperature anomalies. Again, not the actual sea surface temperatures, but the difference relative to normal. And indeed, this forecast map shows warmer than normal sea surface temperatures in the central part of the equatorial Pacific Ocean, primarily focused in the central Pacific as compared with right off the South American coastline. So this particular forecast map shows a centrally based El Nino going into the winter months. And notice a couple of areas of interest I wanted to point out. There's a continuation of warmer than normal sea surface temperatures tucked in to the Alaskan coastline with a colder than normal area just to its southwest. So notice these three features, and what I want to show next is what the sea surface temperature anomaly chart looked like in two of our snowiest winters in recent history, 2002, 2003, and 2009, 2010, just to compare what this forecast map looks like for those snowy winters. And here it is. This is the combination of the winters of 2002, 2003, and 2009, 2010 in terms of the sea surface temperature anomalies. And notice here, very similar to what this forecast map is indicating for the upcoming winter. A centrally based El Nino right here in the equatorial part of the Pacific. Also, very amazingly coincidental here. Very warm conditions tucked in right along the Alaskan coastline, and colder than normal conditions just to the southwest. So very similar, strikingly similar sea surface temperature anomalies for the two very snowy winters here in the northeastern U.S., 02, 03, and 09 to 2010. So there are some possible early signs here for another snowy winter in the northeastern U.S. We will continue to monitor the development of this El Nino over the next several months here at the SIWeather.com. Again, not just the magnitude of the El Nino, which is important, but also the specific location, whether it's centrally based or in the eastern part of the Pacific Ocean, has a kind of a different impact on potential winter weather conditions. But some possible early signs here for another snowy winter. That's it for now. For the SIWeather.com, I'm meteorologist Paul Dorian.